Hello class, this is a video tutorial on working with rates part 2. In these sets of videos, we're going to be looking at just special types of rates. So fuel ratings are a particular type of rate that measures the amount of fuel that is used over a given distance traveled. The normal way fuel ratings are written is always some number of liters per 100 kilometers. So let's go into an example demonstrating exactly this. Now remember, fuel ratings is almost always per 100 kilometers. So for this particular question, we take a look at the information given. 22.6 liters, 280 kilometers. So if we were to arrange this like we would for the required rates, we would write this as 22.96 liters per 280 kilometers. Now, our goal is to get from 280 to 100. Now, for this, I always like to go to an intermediate step to find 1 kilometer, and then from there we can easily find the 100 kilometer. So from 280 to get to 1, we divide by 280, and then we multiply by 100. We do the exact same thing to the liters on the other side of the rate, so divide 280 times 100. So 22.96, that number there, 22.96, divide 280 times 100. So we're going to be using those numbers. We have 80.082 liters per 1 kilometer, or 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, when it comes to asking for a fuel rating, it's this number that we're working with, but the unitary rate of per 1 kilometer is actually more useful when it comes to calculating future calculations. I'll demonstrate to you what we mean in this first set of questions. Now, let's go with the unitary rate first. We have the unitary rate of 0.082 liters per 1 kilometer. So we're going to actually just use that one, 0.082 liters per one kilometer. Now the reason why we would use this rating instead of the one required is since we have 1 kilometer, that's easy to calculate. We just now multiply this by 200 to find the number we are looking for. So we can simply now just multiply this by 200. We do the same to the other side of the rate. So that gives us 0.082 times 200. That gets us 16.4 liters per 200 kilometers. So notice how we can use that unitary rate to easily calculate what we need. But we still can also use this number here, the actual rating. So we can go 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers. And we just simply write underneath the correct position the unit or the information given. In this case, it's 380 kilometers. And like what we've seen before, we can find the multiplying factor by dividing the other direction. So 380 divide 100, that gets us 3.8. And it's that number that we work with to multiply the other side. So 8.2 times 3.8. 8.2. That gets us 31.16 liters. So as you can see, you could just use either. It's really up to preference whether you like the unitary rate or the proper fuel rating for the calculation. So for this last one, I'm just going to use the actual fuel rating here. You can go ahead and use this unitary rate and you will get the same answer. So in this case, I'm going to be using 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers. And below this, we write 456 kilometers. For this, we need to divide going back the other way. 456 divide 100. And it's that number that we multiply the other side by, 4.56. So 8.2 times 4.56. That gets us 37.392 liters per that number of kilometers. So I hope that's very straightforward. It's the exact same as we've done before, but it's just with an added layer of knowing that this is the proper fuel rating that you have to answer with. But when it comes to calculations, you can use either of these. Let's finish off this question. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to be using the unitary rate each time. It makes it a lot easier because it's just a per 1 kilometer calculation. Now remember, once we have the rate written, it's just a matter of writing the matching number below the appropriate unit. In this case, 12.3 goes below here. And it's a matter of just dividing by that number. So 12.3 divide 0.082. That gets us 150. And since this is already in a unitary rate, we immediately get our answer of 150. Same deal with this one. 32.8 below the matching unit. Divide. So 32.8 divide 0.082, we get 400. And last one here, 6.15. And for this, once again, we just divide 6.15, and this gets us immediately that 75 kilometers. Okay, so I hope that's given you an insight into fuel ratings. As you can see, if you're familiar with just working with rates, this is no different. Hope to see you in the next video, and best of luck.